That didn't feel good. This is a $150 mountain bike that I recently bought off of Facebook Marketplace, and I'm about to find out if it can survive riding a nearly 250-mile long journey around the southern tip of Baja, California, Mexico. I'll have no support vehicle, no bikepacking experience, no fancy adventure setup, just me, an old bike, and a route that cuts through desert back roads, beach towns, mountain climbs, washboard gravel, sand, heat, wind, and long stretches with no cell service. This is the Cape Loop, a roughly 10-day, 250-mile ride around the Sierra de la Laguna Mountains in Baja California Sur. For the first half of the trip, I'll start in San José del Cabo, ride north to Playa Los Cerritos, continue up the Pacific coast to Todos Santos, cross over to La Paz, and then follow the Cia Cortez all the way back to where I started. At least that's the plan, because I don't know if this bike is ready for Baja. I don't know if I'm ready for Baja, but by the end of this ride, I'm going to find out. To start this whole thing, I packed my bike and pretty much everything I'd need into an old bike box I got from REI, then flew down to San Jose del Cabo. When I got there, I spent most of the day putting the bike back together after breaking it down for the flight. After that, I went into town to load up on supplies, mainly food and water, because this first stretch of the ride was going to be pretty remote. There weren't many places to stop, not much cell service, and basically nowhere to bail out if I forgot something important. So whatever I needed for this first part of the journey, I had to fit on the bike. I had some delicious tacos, got some beer for the road, and was ready to take off the following morning. Sort of. It's already about 1 p.m. and I got a really late start this morning. I've already had 2 issues with my bike. Apparently when I was putting my bike back together, I didn't really put the derailleur on correctly, and I had to redo that. So it was kind of a scare there. I thought it was something seriously wrong with my bike. And so it's kind of trial and error right now. Some things need to be adjusted. And as I'm going, I'm experiencing some of those breakdowns. So thankfully they were easy fixes, and hopefully my bike stays together the rest of the journey. But as I kept riding on, I ran into a bigger problem. So unfortunately, I think I'm gonna have to backtrack a little bit. I don't think I can make it on this section of the route that I planned. I've only just begun and it's already just unrideable for me. It's unfortunate, it's just way too sandy, and even with fat tires, I think it'll be quite difficult to traverse this. It is what it is, but I'm gonna have to backtrack a little bit and bypass this area on the more main road. By midday, it was pretty clear I was way behind schedule. There was no chance I was making it the roughly 60 kilometers to Playa Los Cerritos before dark. So I decided to cut my losses, backtrack to San Jose del Cabo, and give it another shot the next morning. I got a room at a budget hotel called the Cactus Inn, ate a pizza, crashed for the night, and rolled out early the next day. The mornings here are really kind of cool and crisp. By midday, it's going to get pretty hot, up probably around mid-80s. So I wish it would stay like this the whole time. But unfortunately, in a couple hours, it's going to be pretty hot. And I'm going to be sweating my ass off again. Getting out of town is a little bit chaotic. There's lots of traffic. I've been taking the back roads as opposed to the main thoroughfare, which is on my right here, the one road, because I've taken a little bit, but I want to avoid it as much as possible. There's just a lot of traffic on there, people driving fast. I'm really looking forward to getting out of the city here and riding on some country roads where it's a little bit more peaceful, a little bit more enjoyable ride with some better scenery. It can take a bit of navigating to get out of town here if you're trying to take some of the back roads and not be riding on this main road so much, but I'm about to join up with it right now, and it's going to take me up to another road, which I don't know the name of. I'll put it on the map, and I'm going to cut over, and pretty much it's a straight shot to Los Cerritos from there. And this should be more of a kind of a dirt country road, so it'll be a little bit more chill than riding through the city here. Kind of nice when you get out of town. There's this main road that we're following here, but on the side of the main road there are these little kind of dirt roads that you can ride on, because although the road here, this main road up here, the one, looks really new and it's a really well paved road, there's no shoulder, so it's a little sketchy riding on that because people drive really fast. But it's great that they have these little dirt roads on the side here that you can take, so you don't have to go on that main road there. I gotta say, it's only 9 a.m., but I can already feel the heat coming on. It's gonna be probably mid-80s today, which isn't too bad. But when you're pushing on a bike, it feels like 20 degrees hotter. Making sure you have enough water for the journey is essential, especially when you're on the country back roads. There's not much out here, so you don't wanna get trapped out here with not enough water. So I just made it to the fork in the road where I'm gonna head to Playa de Los Cerritos, and I just traveled roughly 10 kilometers from San José del Cabo. I believe it was 10 kilometers. Really kicked my ass, but now I have 61 more kilometers to go on this dirt road here. It's gonna take me to Playa de Los Cerritos. It's already getting pretty warm, and I'm already pretty tired. This bike packing thing is not easy. I'm excited to be back on some country roads where there's almost nobody out here. I've seen one car this whole time. So it's a lot more peaceful out here. It's quiet, air is fresh. There's some vultures up there. I'm not sure if that's a bad omen or not. This looks like the end point of that initial route I tried to take yesterday along the power lines. There's a lot of vultures flying around because there's a cow carcass over there that's just rotting away, and there's like 50 vultures here. You see a lot of roadkill out here, a lot of animals out here dead. I've seen a couple dogs so far, some cows. You can already tell it's getting pretty wild out here. Just a constant battle for survival. So I'm a couple kilometers in and I'm starting to get to the base of these mountains here, and I have a feeling it's going to start getting kind of steep here as I cross through these mountains, and this flat road's going to cease to exist, so it's going to get kind of difficult here shortly, I think. The Baja Cape Loop route I'm following came from a blog by bikepacker Sarah Swallow, who put together one of the best route guides I've found for this trip. It includes the itinerary, resupply points, elevation charts, places to stay, and a lot of helpful notes for navigating roads that can be pretty tricky to figure out from Google Maps alone. I wasn't able to follow it perfectly. Some sections, like the Powerline route near the beginning, were a bit too much for my bike and setup, but her guide was still a huge help. I'll leave a link to her right up in the description below. But shout out to Sarah Swallow. Now back to the trip. These hills are kicking my ass. I just want these hills to be over, to be honest. It's pretty brutal right now. Whew. I don't know how people do this. I'm so tired right now. My legs are like dead. I'm just drenched in sweat. How do people even enjoy this? I have no idea. Oh, these hills are endless. They just keep going. Ah, finally, downhill is so much better. It was looking bleak there for a while, but that was freaking hard. Not gonna lie, those hills really beat me up. But it looks like I'm going downhill for a little ways, so it almost makes up for it. It might not look like it on camera, but this is one of the biggest climbs on the entire Cape Loop. Over the next 28 kilometers, you gain what I think is roughly 2,500 feet of elevation as you work your way into the Sierra de la Laguna mountains. Uh-oh. So I'm here at this kind of fork in the road. I'm not exactly sure where to go, but I need to check my map. There's an arrow on the ground here, but I believe it's that way. I don't know, I might have to take a chance here and try to guess the right way. Hopefully I don't guess the wrong one. Well, of course I realize now that I did go the wrong way. My GPS was telling me that this was the way I was supposed to go, down this road, but now that I look on the map, I'm on the wrong path. So I have to backtrack a little ways back up there, probably about 1 kilometer. It sucks, but now I have to go back uphill again. I had a 50-50 chance of picking the right direction and I went the wrong way. In hindsight, this was probably the hardest part of the entire Cape Loop for me. The heat, the terrain, the road conditions, the remoteness, it all started adding up. Maybe it was because I was still getting used to the bike, or maybe I just underestimated this section, but it definitely felt like the ride was putting me in my place. I did pass one other bike packer, but other than that, it was mostly just cows, a couple of rancheros, and a whole lot of empty road. By the time I was reaching the midpoint, the sun was starting to set, and I knew it was time to stop pushing for kilometers and start looking for a place to camp. So I'm roughly about 33 kilometers away from Los Cerritos. It's been a long day. I'm not gonna lie though, today really kicked my ass. It was just a lot more challenging this ride than I thought. I mean, I knew the terrain was gonna be tough, but just the combination of the hills and just the rough roads and the heat, it's a lot. I thought I was gonna make better time and make it to the coast by the end of the evening, but I'm gonna have to camp out here tonight, and tomorrow morning I'll try to get up early and continue the 33 kilometers that I have left to get to the coast. So it's about 7:40 in the morning and I'm packing up to get ready to go. And I'm gonna head down to the beach down there, Playa Los Cerritos, the Pacific side. I didn't quite make it there yesterday as I had planned, but things happen. So I had to camp out here in these beautiful mountains up here. And all in all, it was really quiet. I didn't really hear anything the whole time I was up here except for some cows. There's really been no cars on this road, no traffic since I've been here, since I posted up last night, except for the whole platoon of police that came by. Hola, buenas tardes. Which was interesting. There were like 30 or 40 of them, all decked out in flak jackets and automatic weapons, and they looked like they were on a manhunt. I'm not sure exactly what they were doing, but they stopped and said hello, and they were very nice, and they went on their way. And they said it was safe to camp here and all good, so I guess I feel safer knowing that they're out here patrolling the area, heavily armed. So yeah, the sun's coming up over the hills right now, you can see over there, and I want to try to get on the road and get to the beach before it starts to get too hot. I gotta say, on a side note, yesterday really kicked my ass. It was a lot harder than I thought it was going to be. I knew it was going to be difficult, but just the combo between the heat, the rugged terrain, the hills, and getting lost or having to backtrack once just really made it challenging. And I've gone through a lot of water and most of my food, but I should have enough supplies for the rest of the journey. It's only 33 kilometers to the coast down there, which I can see, and hopefully, by the looks of it, mostly downhill. I'm hoping, but we're kind of like on a decline here, and we're leaving the mountains to go to the ocean, so a little sore this morning. but it's all good. It was a beautiful ride through some really amazing countryside, a lot of small little farms, not really a whole bunch out there, to be honest. But yeah, we're gonna continue on our way and hopefully make it to the Pacific side, the beach, shortly. At this point, the route started to feel a little more forgiving. After all the climbing the day before, I was finally on the downhill side of the Sierra de la Laguna, making my way towards the Pacific coast. And honestly, I was glad I was riding it in this direction. As hard as yesterday's climbs were, I think coming up this side would have been even tougher. What is this? Coming down from the Sierra de la Laguna, the whole atmosphere started to shift. The mountains slowly faded behind me, the air got warmer and drier, and the landscape opened up into that wide, dusty Baja terrain. After all that climbing, it finally felt like the road was letting me go, pulling me down toward the Pacific. What's this? I gotta say, it's crazy how much faster you travel when you're traveling downhill and you let gravity do the work for you. I'm about 12 kilometers out from the ocean now, and I just rode down from the top of those mountains up there, and for the most part it was all downhill, which was great. No issues, a lot of fun. I totally see now why everybody suggests that you do the Cape Loop clockwise, because as bad as those hills were yesterday, that would be just killer going up that. So I'm glad I'm riding down that and not going up it, because that was just a really long stretch, probably about 15 kilometers straight of nearly all downhill. Now I'm kind of at this area where it's leveled off a little bit, and I saw the ocean straight ahead. So I have about 12 more kilometers to go. It's still pretty remote out here. There's a couple fincas and some houses out here, and I've seen a couple people along the road, but for the most part, you're still pretty isolated out here, and I haven't seen one car the whole time I've been on this road here this morning. Saw a couple people, everybody's really friendly, and that's just about it. A lot of cows, but we're gonna continue on to the ocean, and we should be there, and I should hopefully be there in like an hour, because it's like 12 kilometers away, and I think the hardest part is done, hopefully. I can smell the ocean from here. Damn. What's this? Gracias. Water has never tasted so good. Okay. Thank you. Hola. Lo siento. Rolling into Playa Los Cerritos felt like crossing a finish line. After the mountains, the heat, and all those empty roads, Just being near the ocean again felt like a reward. So I ended the day the best way I could, sitting on the beach, doing absolutely nothing, and letting the Pacific take over for a while. So it's about 8 in the morning here on Playa Los Cerritos, and I camped out here on the beach, which was really nice. It looks like it's going to be a beautiful day today. My legs are pretty sore from yesterday, so I think I'm going to take a down day today. I hung around this area a little bit yesterday and just explored the beach area of Playa Los Cerritos. And it's a pretty chill little town. I mean, there's not a whole bunch here on the beach except for some restaurants and some bars and a lot of surf rental places and surf shops where you can rent a board because there's lots of surfing out here. But it's a pretty sleepy little town for the most part. And I'm probably gonna grab a coffee here in a little bit and head out in an hour or two to ride up to Todos Santos, where I'm gonna probably spend at least one day and one night because I really need a break from my travels the past 2 days because they've really taken it out of me and my legs are quite sore right now. So I'm gonna enjoy the morning here and pack up my stuff in a little bit and then grab some breakfast and some coffee here in Playa Los Cerritos. I should note that the camping here was great. I didn't really hear much the whole night except for waves crashing, and a little ways down there is kind of like a restaurant commercial area where there's some surf shops and I think a bar or two, and I did hear some music going on until about like 9 p.m. or so, but other than that I haven't seen anybody really since I pitched up a tent here last night before it got dark, and it's pretty chill, pretty mellow. I asked some of the people down there who work down there if it's okay to camp or like where's the best place to camp, and they pretty much said you can pitch a tent anywhere and it's totally fine. Just watch out for the water line for the tide because the tide has come up quite a bit. You don't want to get swamped in the middle of the night by some waves, but other than that it's really pretty secluded, more secluded as you go down there, go down that way, versus kind of like the town area, which I did see some people camping down there as well if you want to be closer to more people. But if you just go down there, I mean, the beach opens up a lot more. But I think I found like a middle ground because I didn't want to get too far outside of the little commercial area. But so far so good. I think it's going to be a beautiful day today. My legs are incredibly sore and it's going to be kind of a rest day today, and I'm just going to enjoy some of the beach area here and have kind of a chill down day. The little town here is interesting. You can tell this area is developing, or they're trying to attract development. There's a lot of a lot of foreigners who live here. You can tell it's kind of an up and coming place. There's a fair amount of construction going on and lots for sale. Right now it still has a rustic feel to it, but you can tell it's gonna grow more in the next couple years. I'm guessing in a decade or so this area will be a lot more built up. I mean, just right here it's hard to see because of the sun, but this whole beach area right here is for sale. So who knows, maybe next time I come back there's going to be a mega hotel here. But for now it's kind of a tranquil little spot to pitch up a tent, and you're not too far away from amenities like restaurants over there and places you can grab food. There's also, I should add, there's a little place over there where you can go to the bathroom, shower, and fill up water. You just pay 100 Mexican pesos for the day and you can use those facilities. So there's a lot of van campers over there. So there's amenities here you're not off the grid, but it feels remote enough where it's quiet. You kind of have the beach to yourself here, but you also have some amenities down there where you can grab some food and take a shower, fill up on some water, and it feels pretty safe here. No issues at all. Didn't have anybody come up to me in the middle of the night, or didn't even hear anybody out here on the beach at all. So it's a sleepy little town, but yeah, I recommend it if you want to get some beach camping in on some nice, beautiful Mexican beaches here. This looks like the remnants of some sort of hotel or some like little bungalows that were here. Not sure what happened to them. Supposedly there was a hurricane that came through here a little while ago that ruined a lot of places. There's this grassy area over here which I'm a little nervous to walk around in because yesterday I saw several snakes. One decently large yellow snake. I'm gonna have to look it up when I get some service, but I just the last thing I want right now is to get bitten by a snake. That's really the only thing I've seen out here wildlife wise, besides some domestic animals like cows and donkeys, is just a fair amount of snakes, some small snakes. I saw one scorpion. So yeah, it looks like this is the remnants of a little resort that was once here, because here's the swimming pool. I'm not sure what happened to this place. It's obviously seen better days. Pool's not looking so hot. When I was walking along the beach here in Playa Los Cerritos, one of the first things you notice is this giant Spanish-style hotel overlooking the ocean. It's hard to miss. It sits above the beach with these big arches, towers, and old hacienda-style details, like something built for a much grander version of this coastline. From what I could gather, this place is known as Hacienda Cerritos. Rumor has it, it was once part of a bigger dream for this area, a luxury hotel, and maybe even a kind of gateway into a new Cerritos. But like a lot of stories you hear on the road, the details get a little murky. One version I heard is that there were issues with the land, or permits after it had already been built. I don't know how much of this story is true, but whatever the full story is, the building now has a strange feeling to it. Not completely abandoned, but not fully alive either. And in a way, that kind of captures Playa Los Cerritos itself. There are still dirt roads, open lots, surfers walking down to the beach, and that laid-back Baja feeling. But mixed in with all that are construction sites and half-finished buildings spread out from the coast. I'm not really saying any of this is good or bad. Places change, people discover them, money comes in, roads get built, hotels go up, and slowly, the character of a place starts to shift. Cerritos still feels relaxed, dusty, and unfinished, but it also feels like it's standing on the edge of something much bigger. And this hotel, sitting above the beach, kind of captures that perfectly. Part dream, part ruin, and maybe part preview of what this place is becoming.